Hi, I'm Sarah and I am a Flight Centre Travel Expert. So the best immersive experience I've ever had was actually quite recent. I did a tour with Intrepid along the Amalfi coastline. It was a hiking tour. It was incredible. One of my favourite parts of that hiking tour was walking along the Path of the Gods. It's about an 8-kilometre trek, mostly up and down stairs, and you're along the Amalfi coastline. You've got the coastline pretty much to your left the entire way, and on your right you've got the beautiful jagged cliffs with little hillside villages and vineyards, and it's the most picturesque thing that you've ever seen. So on this particular day, we had just started our trek. It was around 9 AM, pretty warm, beautiful sunny day, and we actually crossed paths with a local shepherd. No, not this kind of shepherd, this kind of shepherd. Yep, that's right, one wearing a Nike Just Do It t-shirt. So anyway, now because Intrepid only used local guides, the shepherd knew our guide personally. They were good friends, so they said, "Hi, how you going?" And the shepherd actually mentioned that his farmhouse was about 50 metres up the path, and that we were more than welcome to drop in and check things out from his farmhouse while he went along and did his thing. So we ended up in this amazing farmhouse overlooking the Amalfi coastline, with freshly made goat's cheese that he'd made himself, local native honey that he'd also collected himself, fresh tomatoes, and also wine at 9:30 in the morning. And it was probably just one of my favourite travel experiences ever. We left him tips and we were on our way, but it was honestly so beautiful, scenic, and it's not something that we would have ever experienced if we were just travelling independently. We were super lucky. So who is an immersive small group tour for? I'm typically an independent traveller myself, but now having done a few small group tours, I can easily say that there is a common misconception that small group tours are for certain types of travellers. Absolutely not. There is 100% a tour out there for anyone, be it younger travellers, active travellers, families. What you'll find is that you'll always have something in common because you're with like-minded travellers. Intrepid use all local tour leaders, which I love because it means that you get first-hand knowledge and information about the place that you're visiting. You also get to stay in local accommodation and eat at local restaurants. That was probably my favourite part because we had the best food on the tour. So there's no staying in chain hotels or eating at chain restaurants. You're really getting true 100% authentic experiences each and every day. I would say that my favourite thing about travelling has to be food. Yes, that is cliche, but I found that especially on this trip, we were really able to visit places that were off the beaten track. So there was a restaurant in Naples that was about 3 alleys in. 100% would never have found it ourselves. It was a family-run restaurant. They didn't even have a menu. They just made what they did on the day, and you kind of got to select from that, but you knew that it was all locally sourced and fresh and it was going to taste amazing, which it did.